Oh, I'm loving life back down in League One. That relegation might go down as being the best thing that happened in the history of this football club. We're going to win the league. We're going to go back up bigger and stronger and better than ever. Ooh, I'm excited. Hello and welcome to part 105 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have two home games in the league. We're at home against Chesterfield and then we're at home in our local derby against Coventry as well. Since you were last with me, there is one little blot on the schedule. We lost away against Wimbledon and we were pretty rubbish in that game as well, but every other match we've played, we were ignoring the Carabao Cup against Cardiff because who cares, but every other match we've played, including our reserves against Burnley's reserves in the Chesterfield Trophy, we've won and won convincingly. We're looking very, very good. There's been a couple more players who've arrived at the club since you were last with me as well. You'll remember on the last episode I had a little bit of money to spend. Rather than spending it on players, I've put a little bit more into the wage budget. There's still money to spend at Christmas if we need to, but the transfer window is now closed. We brought in another 4 players on free transfers though, and they're 4 good uns. Ali Afsharian, you'll see him today. He's a 22-year-old striker, 3-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability. Just 2 years ago, he got 26 goals in the Championship, and he's still only 22. He's taken a little bit of time to get match fit, but we played him against Burnley under 23s in the Chesterfield Trophy in the last match, and he was outstanding. Scored 1, made the other 2, got an 8.9. He'll be in the team for today's game. Albert Richardson's a familiar face. We did try and sign him when his contract at West Ham expired over the summer. He was on loan with us for 3 years. Never anything spectacular, but solid competition for James Ball as an attacking midfielder, knows the club, etc, etc. But when we tried to sign him at the end of his West Ham contract, he wanted like £13,000 a week. He was still available on the 20th of August and settled for just under £4,000 a week. I can live with that. Albert Richardson is now our player. Alex Hughes is the midfielder that I said I wanted. He's 23 years old, 3-star current ability, 3.5-star potential. He's primarily a defensive midfielder but can play in central midfield as well. Very much in your Alex Barber mould. He's another one who hasn't got match fit yet because he arrived so late, but he did play in that Burnley game as well. Expect to see more of him as the season goes on. And then there's a mistake. There's always a mistake. Robert Talboys, 22 years old, only 2-star current ability, 3-star potential. You'll probably never see him play. He came off the bench against Burnley, was rubbish. Don't expect to see much more of that lad. But, you know, I did all right with 3 of the 4. That works for me. We have let Owen Craigan go out on loan, though. And I know people will be asking what Owen Craigan is up to. I wonder if he's perhaps not as good as we ever thought he was. I know I've not ever really given him a proper chance. But looking at his performance out on loans, he's had 2 season-long loans now, and hasn't really impressed in the National League in either of them. Although that being said, 3 games into life at Accrington, he's averaging a 7.47, so that's not too shabby. But we've got a better young midfielder than that. His name is Michael Neal. We talked about him in the last episode about how really we need to replace this guy on the right-hand side of our midfield. He's young. We don't really know anything about him, but there he is. 4 goals from his first 4 appearances for the club, an 8.18 average. And, you know, he just won... Oh, where is it? Why can't we see? There he is. He just won the League One Player of the Month, League One Young Player of the Month, and League One Goal of the Month in his first month playing for us. Michael Neal, if he carries on as he is going to be our Skelton replacement. He's exactly what we needed, that Mazzala on the right-hand side of our midfield, and he has been awesome. So this is the team we're putting out there for the first of today's 2 games against Chesterfield. We've got Hugo in goal, a back 4 of Sheridan making his league debut. He did play against Burnley. This is the lad who, according to that club screen, in fact, is he still there? Yeah, he's our best hot prospect, Hayden Sheridan, made his debut for us against Burnley, and Phil Ball got sent off in our last league game, so there's a vacancy at left back. So Sheridan comes in and could conceivably never give that position up now for the next 10 years. Hayden Sheridan comes in at left back with Hughes, Sawyer and Ibrahim making up the rest of the back 4. A midfield of Davies, Ball and Neal, with Rakeem Lashley, who I think you met on the last episode. He came in over the summer and has had a decent start to life at the club as well. Played in both the cup games. He was very, very good against Burnley as well, which is why he's in the team today, with Ball dropping back into the midfield 3. And then Ruggles up front with Afsharian, who... It's his league debut, but he was so good against Burnley that I'm a little bit excited. I say again, 26 goals in the Championship 2 seasons ago. Ruggles has scored 20 plus goals in the Championship last year. So we're playing in League One with a potential, 55, 60 goal a season Championship strike partnership in League One. This could get very messy for Chesterfield very quickly if they both play to their full potential. I'm excited. Oh, it's good to be excited about the team again. It's been 2 seasons of misery, and now we're going to have a season of fun now. Watch us lose both games today just to make sure the misery level doesn't get too out of hand. Right, here we go. Davies building from midfield to Ruggles. Let's just score one of those super goals we score sometimes. Sheridan with his first touch of league football. Davies back to Hughes, to Sheridan again, to Ball. Here you go, we're knocking the ball around nicely. Lashley plays Afsharian in. And he's missed with his first opportunity in the league for us. Don't worry, that was just a warm-up. He was just practising getting into those positions. Sheridan heads down to Davies, forward to Lashley, and now Ruggles playing as the target man, holds the ball up, back to Sheridan, and it's with Ball. Ball takes his time, he's picking a pass here, finds Davies, back to Ball again, who this time finds Lashley, Ruggles, and Ruggles didn't really hold it up very well, but Sheridan's there to cover him. We've seen a lot of Hayden Sheridan on his debut already. I don't know if that's because he's just a wonder player, or if it's because, it was a good cross from Sheridan, or if it's because Chesterfield have identified we've got a teenage debut at left back, so they're going to come down our left hand side, which I guess, if they've scouted us properly, would be the sensible thing to do. Afsharian intercepts there, and it's back with Ibrahim. Ball getting very involved as a deep line playmaker, and Ruggles is in behind, and Ruggles fires it straight at the Chesterfield keeper, and we're immediately back in the action. Don't even have time to take a breath. We've had 2 clear-cut chances already in these first 12 minutes, not yet scored though, so this 60 goal a season Championship strike partnership probably need to put their shooting boots on. Sheridan's been destroyed there, but is covered by Ibrahim, who's had his loan extended again, by the way. He'll have been on loan with us for, I can't remember if it's 3 or 4 years by the end of his loan. His loan now takes him to the end of his Bristol City contract. We've just given away a penalty, I think. No, we haven't. But yeah, Ibrahim's loan takes him to the end of his Bristol City contract. So we could be in the ridiculous situation with Ibrahim, where we signed him on loan. We signed him on a free transfer as an 18-year-old. Played him for 2 years, sold him to Bristol City for £600,000, loaned him back for the entire length of his Bristol City contract, and then signed him on a free transfer again at the end of it. Bristol City must think that's a cracking piece of business. It certainly helped keep us afloat when we really needed that money. The fact as well that in addition to the £600,000 lump sum we've had, we've also had them pay his £4,000 a week wages for those 3 or 4 seasons as well. Good work, Bristol City. We're 1-0 down, though, and they have come down Ibrahim's side, so perhaps they've had the last laugh. Perhaps they've sold us someone who's not actually any good. Ibrahim didn't really get involved in that, but still managed to find himself massively out of position. Sawyer's beaten for pace, and Hugo isn't a very good goalkeeper. We did have a deal arranged with a 4-star current ability goalkeeper, but he was Spanish and didn't get a work permit, which was annoying. It was the first time I'd seen a goalkeeper with 4 stars of current ability in the entire save, I think, and we couldn't get him because of stupid work permit regulations. Right, Lashley's injured, so the obvious thing to do here is bring Alex Barber on and push Ball forward and just get everyone back into their normal positions, sort the midfield out a little bit. We're a goal down. Let's rebuild our midfield and do the one that's been so successful for us so far this season. We need to get back into this game, really. All this build-up, all this excitement, and we're now 2-0 down after 28 minutes. We're not going to panic yet because we were 2-0 down against Oldham on the first day of the season as well, and we turned that round into a 6-3 win. But we can't keep giving teams 2-goal head starts. But we've got another Nadat in goal, and I'm so fed up with goalkeepers. In this save, goalkeepers just rubbish. Can we play without one? I genuinely think at times we'd be better off playing an extra midfielder and just not having a goalkeeper, but the game won't let me do it. Barber plays it forward to Ruggles. Ruggles back to Barber again. Barber to Ball, and Afsharian is in, and this time he does score. So he's got a goal on his full debut for the club in the Checker Trade Trophy, and now a goal on his league debut as well. Hopefully the first goal of a 30-plus goal season for Afsharian. I can't put into words how excited I am about having that lad in our team for very little money as well. Like all these ones who've just come in, none of them were that keen to sign, so he's only here on contract to the end of the season. Same with Richardson, same with Hughes, the young midfielder who's come in. So we are going to have to offer some contract extensions fairly soon for players who look like they're going to be any good, like Afsharian does. And I imagine at that point their wages go up a little bit, which might be problematic. But we have got that big chunk of transfer budget, which we can convert to wage budget if we need to. But I still kind of like having that sat there. It's a weird situation to be in. We've never had this in Backing the Boro, where we've got a bunch of money sat there to spend if we need to spend it. And at the moment, I don't think we need to rush to spend it, because I think we've got a squad, we've got a team good enough to win this division. Never mind get promoted. We should be winning the league. I think this is a much better squad than we had when we won the league 3 seasons ago. But we are at home to Chesterfield losing at the moment, so that doesn't really prove that, does it? Right, let's get a couple of substitutes on. Ruggles hasn't played well at all today. We've got loads of strikers on the bench, but the one I'm looking for is not there. I want to bring Dan Fisher on, but somehow Stainsby, Kearns and Walker are all on the bench, all of them poachers or advanced forwards. I don't really want to move Afsharian out of position. Can any of you play? Right, Kearns was target man alongside Afsharian against Burnley, so he gets the nod on that basis. And then Hayden Sheridan's not had the best of games. We have got Pete Muggeridge sat there on the bench, who I think we brought in this summer. So I guess he's the obvious substitution there. Just get the youngster out of the line of fire. Get a bit of a more experienced left-back on that side, who's probably never going to be a regular starter for us because of all the other competition that he's got. But for 20 minutes now, he just needs to steady the ship on our left-hand side and give us a platform to build on and get forward and grab at least an equaliser. It's a massive ball over the top from Hughes, and their keeper's come out miles. What on earth was their goalkeeper doing there? He has come flying out of his penalty area. It was a nothing ball forward from Hughes. Their keeper comes flying out of his area. I mean, look at this. And he just passes it to Ruggles. Heads it to Ruggles, who just hits it straight back past him. It's 2-2 with 20 minutes to go. Ruggles and Afsharian both now with goals. There's your 60 goal a season strike partnership. We are going to carry on with the same substitutions, so we'll get Kearns on, see if he's got a goal in him today. And that was just absolutely insane goalkeeping from Chesterfield. It's not just us who have got this goalkeeper problem. I think this entire save has got goalkeeper issues. I don't remember it being this much of a problem in non-league to legend. And I know we spent half of that save playing at a much higher level than this, but we did start in non-league, and I don't remember keepers being this bad. I think it's just a Backing the Boro glitch. That's the only explanation for the likes of Robbie Nadat and our current hero Hugo. Right, we've got 15 minutes to go and grab a winner. We've made all our substitutions because of that pesky injury early on. I'd like to get Stainsby on at this point, just to get another striker on there. Afsharian with a big, deep free kick, though. I don't quite know why our main striker is taking a free kick from all the way back there. And Neil was this close to making it 5 goals from 5 games for us. And their keeper almost did it again. Afsharian's right on top of him there. This keeper is a nutcase. Neil with the ball over the top to Ibrahim. We've got 3 men lined up in the middle, and it's a terrible cross. Muggeridge is going to pick it up on the other side, though. Can he find a better ball? He doesn't, but he finds Barber. Ball. Neil is fouled, surely. Michael Neil has won a penalty, and he took our last penalty. Is he taking this one again? He's not. It's James Ball, and it's saved. It's still 2-2. I don't know why Neil didn't take it. Neil is our main man. He's the new Skelton. I've decided he's the new Skelton, and he should be taking our penalties as a result of that. Although Skelton did have a habit of missing penalties from time to time. I think, based on the highlights we've seen, 2-2 is a pretty fair result for this game. But if you look at those stats, we have absolutely destroyed Chesterfield today and deserve a winner. And I would like it if we could grab one in the last 4 minutes of this game. It's another big ball forward from Hughes. This time it's intercepted, though. Neil's picked up a knock in midfield. Nothing we can do about that now, having used all our subs. But Ibrahim bursts through, and it is Afsharian in the 90th minute. Ibrahim was excellent there, pushing forward on that right-hand side, and does find the low cross. And again, we had a bunch of players lined up ready to tuck that away. It was a much better cross from Ibrahim this time. He got into this position 10 minutes earlier and did a horrible looping cross. This time, though, just drills it it across the area. And even though it missed Afsharian at the first time of asking, because it was low, it bounced off whoever's shin it bounced off of. And Afsharian's there to tuck it away. We've picked up a lot of yellow cards today. In addition to us dominating this match and not actually winning it. And in addition to us dominating this match and winning it narrowly, we've also been absolute thugs. Injuries all over the place to both teams and yellow cards ahoy, and I think that's probably another one there. I know Kearns has actually fouled himself there. I'm losing the words. Dave is now with the free kick from deep to Ball, who's just going to keep hold of it, I think. No, he's going to find Neil, who then just gives it away, and I think that's probably that. And once again, for the second episode of this season, we've come from 2 goals behind to pick up a win. It wasn't as spectacular scoreline-wise, but that performance was a bit special. We just needed to be a little bit more clinical in front of goal, and hopefully that's exactly what we'll do now in our local derby against Coventry. 4 changes for the Coventry game, then partly enforced, partly just a little bit of rotation. Mugridge comes in to start at left back. I wasn't massively impressed with Sheridan. I think he perhaps needs another loan, so we might send him out on loan again. Mugridge comes in at left back. Lang comes in at right back as well, purely for fitness reasons, really. Ibrahim's dropped down to 95%. And I know I've got players much less fit than that, but Ibrahim and Lang are basically the same player. Plus, there's lots of people interested in Lang, so he can't be that bad, so I just tend to rotate them all the time. Johnson comes into the midfield as well. He's now fit again. He missed the start of the season through injury, but I think he's going to be a key part of our midfield this year. And we obviously picked up the injury to Lashley in the last game as well. But I haven't pushed Ball forward. I decided to give Albert Richardson his first start as a permanent Nuneaton player, just because... yeah, I wanted to have a look at him again. And then we go with Ruggles and Ashfarian up front, because why on earth wouldn't we? So let's get into the game. Both Richardson and Johnson are struggling a little bit for match fitness because neither of them have played a game yet this season. But we have got James Ball sat there on the bench who can come on if needed. We've also got Flores is now fit enough to be on the bench as well, as he started the season injured. So we've got a little bit more option at centre-back as well. Not that we need it, because our centre-backs have been excellent so far this season. Right. Yes, Sawyer's captain today because he's now the one most likely to become record appearance holder. We've got, obviously, Joe Anderson's on about 400 appearances at the moment, but will now not add to that. Whereas Sawyer, at age just 25, still so young, he's only on 297. I thought he was on more than that. I thought Sawyer had been around longer than that. But 297 appearances means he's closing in on third place. So Tom Elliott, I think, was on about 315 when he broke the record. And obviously Joe Anderson flew past that, but was getting on a bit at age 29. Sawyer... just picking up the captaincy now. Dan Fisher is officially club captain, but Sawyer's there as vice captain, and realistically Sawyer's going to play a lot more games than Fisher this season, so we might even make that captaincy switch permanent. Sawyer's just moved into the team leader's position on the dynamic screen as well, so Sawyer's potentially got another 5 years playing for us. I don't think it's likely that we hit the Premier League in 5 years, and I think he's good enough for the Championship. There you go, see, I already don't remember last season. He was good enough for the Championship the year before. None of the defence were good enough last year, but I don't know how much you can blame the centre-backs. I think a lot of blame goes with the ever-rotating goalkeepers and the terrible full-backs. I think Sawyer, of all of the back four that we had last season, is the most likely to still be in our back four when we return to the Championship. That was a really, really uneventful first half. After we absolutely battered Chesterfield in the last game, we've not really created anything so far in this one, so perhaps that's an indication that we need to get James Ball onto the pitch sooner rather than later. Richardson is not impressed at all, and neither of our strikers have turned up today. We've got Kearns and Stainsby on the bench today as striker options, and I feel like a Kev triple substitution coming on. Did Hugo just make a save? That can't be right. But I'm tempted to change my entire front three, take off the 2 strikers and Richardson, and just bring on the 3 that we've got down there on the bench, because we've got the players to be able to do it, so why not do it? So get the whole lot changed and just see. Right, we haven't created any chances with what we had. Let's see if that combination of forwards can create some chances. Stainsby, after having a really good debut in the last episode, kind of went off the boil almost immediately. So hopefully this is going to be an opportunity for him to grab a goal again and not fall further down the pecking order than he already is, and it's Hughes who grabs a massively important goal for us on the 80th minute. It's Nuneaton 1, Coventry 0 at a packed out Liberty Way. We sold every single ticket available for this match before it even kicked off, which, I mean, I know we were doing that all the time in the Championship last year, but we haven't done that yet this season back down in League One. Obviously, we were always going to do it for the big derby. And it's significant if we can come out of this picking up a win and level on points at the top of the league with Omar's, Millwall and QPR up there as well. So we're joint top of the league as we end the episode. And goodness me, is that where we should be staying for the rest? None of this joint nonsense. So proper top of the league in time for the next episode. That's what we're looking for. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.